Sir, good evening, sir. May I start, sir?
Yes, Amrit sir, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Good evening to one and all. A warm welcome to 39th International Workshop on Greatest Lessons from Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, the Iron Man of India, under International Workshop Series, a series of 100 programs every Saturday 5 to 7 p.m. Look up, aim high, nation first, self next. Azadi ka Amrit Mahotsav, jointly organized by Internal Quality Assurance Cell, Northeastern Hill University, Shillong, Meghalaya, in collaboration with Department of Philosophy and IQAC, MORAN College, affiliated to Dibrugarh University, MORANHAT, ASSAM, India, and Department of Philosophy, SVU Computer Center, Sri Venkateswara University, Tirupati, Andhra Pradesh. Here is a jointly organized by IQAC and ISTD Shillong chapter in collaboration with the noble institutions. Professor P. Chennai sir, while interacting regarding national freedom fighters, so there are so many eminent personalities, but Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel is the most prominent one among all the freedom fighters. And Professor Vijay Kumar sir, keynote speaker. A warm welcome to Professor P. Chennai sir and Professor Vijay Kumar sir. Professor P.S. Sukla sir, Prabhasankar Sukla sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Northeastern Hill University, and Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sri Venkateswara University, Professor Raja Reddy sir, Mithali Kowa ma'am, Principal, Moran College, Dr. Nagarajyasri madam, Director, SVU Computer Center, Sri Venkateswara University, Professor B.S. Mipun sir, Chairperson, ISTD Shillong Chapter, Professor Dikshit sir, yes, Dikshit sir, Director, IQAC, NEHU, Dr. Rajendra Prasad Bartakur sir, Coordinator, IQAC, Moran College, and Dr. Srutasani Gogoi madam, Coordinator, Head and Department of Philosophy, Moran College. So while interacting with Professor Chennai sir, we thought it is the time to recall the Iron Man of India, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, greatest lessons. Because of him, only now the united India. Always, there is one saying in our Telugu, Kalisi unte kaladu sukham. Always, unity is always happiness. So if you are united, you will get pleasure, happiness, development, everything. Professor Chennai sir is going to deliver philosophical background regarding unity and what to do, how to do all these 5 Ws and 1H. Sir has extraordinary memory since student time. Sir is learning and delivering lecture, so many things. Sir is basically from education and philosophy background. So philosophical values, ethics, all those things are very important. Is a man of unity. Dr. T. Vijay Kumar sir, NIRDPR, NERC Guwahati sir is a yoga practitioner and rural development expert, teacher educator. Sir is also going to take care regarding sir basically from Telangana, Nizam's how the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel visited Telangana and how they united now the Nizam on his name only. Osmania University also during Nizam period they constructed, established. So Professor Vijay Kumar sir will take care of those things, and myself, I will provide you historical first-hand information, lessons from Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel and rare videos and his original speech. With this, a warm welcome to one and all. This is the time under Azadi ka Amrit Mahotsav to recall the great services of the great sons of Bharat Mata. We are going to start our program as usual, Vande Mataram. Then I'm going to invite Professor Chinnaya sir and Professor Vijay Kumar sir to deliver their keynote address.
Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Sujala Sukhala, Malayaja Sheetala, Sasya Shyamala Mataram, Vande Mataram, Shubhrajyotsna Pulakitayamini, Pullakusumita Drumadara Shobhini, Suhasini Sumadhura Bhashini, Sukhadam Varadam Mataram, Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram.
Thank you. I'm requesting Professor P. Chinnaya sir, today's keynote speaker and collaborator, my guru, to deliver keynote address. Over to Professor Chinnaya sir.
Amrit sir, are you listening my voice?
Yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. It is audible sir.
Yes, sir. Coordinator Dr. Amrit sir and with the designer of the participants of this program. So here we have a great persons in India who contribute a lot for Indian unity, who contribute for human integrity. So here you see the quotation of Thomas Paine. The world is my country, and all humanity are my family members, and to do good is my religion. So this quotation indicates world unity. Here in India, we have various types of great people who contributed a lot for Indian unity. So we got independence in 1947, August 15th. Before you know the contribution of Subhash Chandra Bose, contribution of Adolf Hitler, Jawaharlal Nehru, Mahatma Gandhi, Lala Lajpat Rai, Bhagat Singh, great people, Lal Bahadur Shastri, many Indira Gandhi, great people contributed for India's independence. In 1947, after getting independence, we faced many problems. Say, we have talked about Subhash Chandra Bose and the Adolf Hitler. So through the forceful actions of Subhash Chandra Bose with the help of Adolf Hitler, Italy, some slight encouragement from Mussolini also, Japan, he started Azadi Hind Force. So through various forces, we got independence. Before independence, after taking pressures from Subhash Chandra Bose, Adolf Hitler, and the Japanese, many things, British government have passed a law to give Indian freedom in the British Parliament. They have decided we have 562 princely states in India. They may continue independently as a princely state, or they may unite with India, or they may unite with Pakistan. That is left to their freedom. They have mentioned this aspect in the act relating with freedom of India. So we got independence in 1947, August 15th. At that time, we have 562 princely states. So they want to create, Britishers wants to create a country of India with 562 countries, small countries. They want to divide the entire India with small pieces. They have that type of mind. But after getting independence, Jawaharlal Nehru was the Prime Minister of India. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was the Deputy Prime Minister and the Home Minister. After getting independence, as a Home Minister and a Deputy Prime Minister, he called all princely state leaders, Rajas, princes, all the people. So most of the people have given their problems, requirements, and finally many people have given consent to join India. But they have presented their grievances because we have lived as a kings and the princesses here in the states. Now you are asking to unite India. What is our financial status? What are the facilities we are going to get from India? Sardar Patel has given, with the consent of Indian administration, so we are going to give king's allowance and perks, princely allowance and various types of allowance. We are going to protect your financial interests. We are going to give financial status to live with a gentle manner. So he had given assurance. The princely states, kings and rajas and all the persons asked, we need an act for protection of our financial status. Then Indian government has given assurance. So we will protect your financial, your family, your life and everything. So they passed a act in the parliament to give perks, financial status, or maybe a salaries or a pensions, all the things to princely state people. So they accepted and they enjoyed, they received and they joined in the Indian. But in the Kerala, one princess on the princely state. In Gujarat, one Junagadh. In the Jammu Kashmir. So here in the, now in the Telangana state, the Nizam. So the Kerala state people have decided one, now it is under this Padmanabha temple's management, that a king, Martanda kings, that family. They want to decide to continue as a separate country. But here Sardar Patel has given warning. So be ready for war. Be ready for protection of your family. Be ready at the cost of your life, peace and everything. If you are ready for anything, okay. Otherwise, we will protect your peace and everything to you. Kindly join in the Indian Union. So they understood the mighty power of India and Sardar Patel leadership and the force of the Indian military after Second World War. They accepted. So here in the Gujarat, Junagadh, so the Mountbatten advised Indian government, this Junagadh princely state is interesting to join in the Pakistan, only kindly accept. But Sardar Patel rejected their offer. We don't want to give that scope. We are ready to fight. But he has given some pillars for threats and everything. Finally, they joined. So here in the Jammu Kashmir, so this Raja Hari Singh joined in the Indian Union. So finally, one important princely state or a Nizam. So they rejected. They rejected to join Indian Union. They said we want to continue as a separate country. They have spent some money to buy weapons. They have given some money and gold to the Pakistan. They have deposited hundreds of cages of gold and jewels kept in a bank in the Britain for the sake of conveyance, have a relation with the Pakistan understanding purpose. So finally, out of 562 princely state, so 561 is settled. So on the basis of negotiations, the Indian government has said we are going to give pensions, salaries, pats, the king's allowance, the princely allowance, and various types of dignified allowances in the form of finance we are going to give, will protect. So Indian government has decided to pass a act to continue the financial assistance from Government of India to all princely state. So finally, the Nizam state rejected. So Sardar Patel invited the representatives from the Nizam state. Some Rizvi, one military general, arrived in the capital in the Delhi. So in the Home Ministry office, there was a discussion, negotiations between Sardar Patel and the military general of the Nizam state. He said, we are very powerful people. We are a Nizam people. We are a very powerful people. Our army is a very powerful. We are a courageous people. We don't want to unite with India. We don't want to join India. We are independent people. We are ready to fight. So we are very, very energetic person. You are underestimating the power of the Nizam. So try to review about your decision. We don't want to do. But Sardar Patel said to the Rizvi, the military general of representative of Nizam government to the central government relating with union of Nizam state to India. So here Sardar Patel has given strong warnings. Okay, be ready, we are ready. So at the cost of your family peace, at the cost of your life, you are going to decide. You go comfortably to the Hyderabad. You will see what will happen. You have to understand about your family condition, your life, your relatives from all the states. So finally, the Nizam general have rejected to join the Indian Union. Then after 24 hours, the Jawaharlal Nehru has gone to foreign trip. He is in charge of Prime Minister and the Home Minister and the Deputy Prime Minister. He has given powerful police action rule. That is a one type of war against to Nizam rule. He sent armed forces to fight Rajakars, to fight against to Nizam. They entered in the Nizam state in the Hyderabad. So the government of India then started firing with armed forces. They entered. At the time, the military general for government of India is General Chaudhary. So had taken powerful steps to enter in the Nizam state. So the government of India entered in the 4 directions in the Hyderabad in the Nizam state, and they started war. They started firing very short period. Within hours, the Nizam state person declared that we are not in a position to fight with you. We are ready to surrender you. we have a negotiation with you. Kindly protect our financial interest. So we are ready to surrender you. We don't want to. So with the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, then that Nizam rule chief surrendered, and the ceasefire happened. Then the Nizam entered. Then at the time of surrendering Nizam state to the government, Indian government, so the Rajakars started very drastically with harmful sense. So military government of India, military operations happened throughout Nizam state. It is in the Karnataka, Maharashtra, in the Telangana. So they operated very, very drastically, courageously. So they killed all evil people through military operations. So here you see the mind of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. So he united 560 princely states into Indian Union. So he has understood the psychology of the princely state. He provided financial assistance, perks, pensions, and all the things. So he faced the law and order problems also. So one way is the Iron Man of India. So many people asked negatively about the joining, but because of his courageous outlook, leadership, is a very sharp language, all people entered. Because of that, now the India is a one state. So actually, before independence also, Sardar Patel have no idea to divide India into Pakistan. But so many political situations, the division has happened, but Sardar Patel have tried to unite total India. For this, in the Indian government, in the period of Sardar Patel, the Indian civil services, now we are seeing in the UPSC, the IAS, Indian Administrative Service, the Indian IPS, Indian Police Service, the Indian Forest Service, Allied Services. This has happened during the period of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, because the government of India appointed top level officials should be there in the state, in the law and order and the administration in every state. Why? Because we have to create more protection to avoid divisions in the future, to protect undivided India. So he has given many things, but Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel philosophy we find very beautifully. So in the life of the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, so he organized Bandoli Satyagraha. At that time, he organized the farmers movement in the Bardoli in the Gujarat near state, Maharashtra, Gujarat, in that area. At that time, Mahatma Gandhi has given a title for Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. The Sardar is a title given by the Mahatma Gandhi to Vallabhbhai Patel. What do you mean by Sardar? The meaning, the chief, the chief minister, a prime minister, just like a chief. You are a very valuable person. You are a prominent person. You are a very prominent leader. That is the meaning. So in the life of Sardar Patel, we find very miraculous things. He has fought in the independence struggle. At the same time, in the personal life also, he was a lawyer. When he was in the court, he is arguing one case on behalf of his client. So he got one telegram from his colleague. So he has seen while he was arguing a case, serious case with his client. So in that telegram, he found his missus with the cancer disease expired, died. But he has seen that news. Then he have kept that slip and in the pocket. Then he started arguing the case. Then he win. So in the critical situations also, he got extraordinary courage. During his lifetime, he experienced the hard disease like plague. So plague attacked Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel in his lifetime, but he has fighted. He got survival. He got freedom from a plague. So he has great courage to struggle to survive with the diseases also. In before his death in 1949, when he was a home minister and a deputy prime minister, he was traveling in a flight, in Indian Airlines flight. Suddenly the flight loses connection, radio connection with the underground, the ground station. Then suddenly the pilot has taken extraordinary intelligence courage. Suddenly with the emergency landing steps he has taken. But suddenly the pilot has landed with emergency manner without the help of the signals. They got success. Nobody has got any injuries, all saved. So that a sudden incident happened in the flight journey. So plague, so he experienced the death message of his wife. So he experienced the jail life also. So he's a person of great integrity. Because of his integrated outlook in the Indian Constitution, we have a state and central relations. We have Indian Constitution. He was the one of the important chapters relating with the Indian Constitution, the fundamental rights and the relating aspects. He was the one of the chairperson in the Indian Constitution. So here in the Indian Constitution, we have a central list, we have a state list, we have a concurrent list, and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel contributed in the Indian Constitution also the liberty, the fraternity, the individuality, the respect, the dignity. We should be live with a happy manner in the country. So our citizens should be very equal. So he said, no caste, no religion, no ideology. We should be live all Indians. Though we may be Christians or Hindus or Muslims, Parsis, we are the children of a one father. So we have to live as a brothers and sisters of in the country. He said, so we have to avoid caste and community. This type of divisions are creating so many evils in our society. So we have to remove all these social evils. We have to get a total unity. So here, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, a person, contributed a lot for framing in the Indian Constitution. He was also one of the members in the Constitution Assembly. He has given very, very valuable suggestions in the Constitution Assembly for the protection of the citizens' freedom. So here we find the philosophy, great things relating with. So he say, a lover of non-violence. So he does not believe approach of violence. So he has an idea that violence leads to violence, unhappiness leads to unhappiness, bad things leads to badness. Means and ends are same. So he said, we have to take a oath relating with the revolution. That revolution is free from violence. That violence should not shock our social conditions. That should not disturb the social aspects of our society. So our revolution should be revolution of the mind, revolution of the thought, revolution in the emotion, revolution in the intelligence, revolution in the brain thoughts. We have to develop love, kindness, understanding, appreciation in our mind. We have to move very nicely. So he said about violence, how to avoid violence. He has given a statement that our revolution or our approach should be free from violence. So you should not use violence in thought. You are thinking about anything, use violence yours. He has said about satyagraha. What do you mean by satyagraha? What is the satyagraha? He said. So we have to develop a satyagraha based on two things. So we have to fight against suppression. We have to fight with the injustice, now with bad things. At the same time, we have to fight with our weaknesses. He's telling the human growth, the human life, the happiness should be developed in the mind, heart, in the oneself. So we have to develop a good health, a good body, good things. We have to avoid bad thoughts, bad habits, bad way of life. So free from all social evils. We should be very careful about our willpower. We have to develop our willpower. So develop inner strongness, remove weaknesses relating with the psychologically. At the same time, fight injustice, protect right. This is the most important. So these are the philosophical thoughts we find in the Sardar. He said, work is worship. You have to work, the manpower should be work with the unity. If you miss unity in our country, then we won't get the fruits of the independence. If you unite with love and affection, if you unite with every action in our country, then we should be very powerful one. This is a most important thing. So in the country, for the development of growth, for the development of highest level of standard of living, we should work very carefully. Love should be there in our work. We have to work very carefully about various activities relating with. He has given instructions to many people that at present, in those days, in the 1945, in the 50s, we don't find a sufficient rice. After 50s, when Jawaharlal Nehru visited Anantapur district in Andhra Pradesh, many people represented Jawaharlal Nehru, Prime Minister, that kindly provide some rice for our district for taking food. So after independence, so the Sardar Patel, Jawaharlal Nehru, Lal Bahadur Shastri, great people of our country invested money to construct Nagarjuna Sagar, Prakasham Barrage, Hirakud, many projects in the country. Through water projects, we got sufficiency, self-sufficiency for food grains. After independence, we got that. So before 50s, before his death in 1950s, Sardar Patel said, we have to avoid hunger in the people. We have to shed the tears of the people. We have to provide food grains for the people. At that time, they have faced famines, hunger, and everything. So he has given an extraordinary statement relating with the life. So he said about the religion. What do you mean by religion? The religion is the relationship between human being and the God. So here we have a Jivatma, we have a Paramatma. If you do meditations, if you practice spiritual things, you can purify your mind, then you can unite with the cosmos. So here he is telling that ours is the secular country. Here we have various types of religions. Muslims are there, Hindus are there, Sikhs are there, Parsis are there. All are Indians. All our brothers and sisters of Indians, we have to respect the philosophies of Hindus, Muslims, Christians, all the things. Respecting the other person's opinion is most important. To survive very happily in our country, we have to respect the people actions very courageously. So he said about the character. So we have to develop a very strong character. The men and women should have developed a strong character. He has given a character two angles. One angle is we have to fight against injustice. We don't want to accept wrong things. If they find any violations relating with human rights and many evils in the society, you have to fight. In the fighting, you have to develop your character. At the same time, if any untoward things, any bad things, evil things, any sorrowful things happen, you should be in the state of tolerance. You should be in the state of patience. Through tolerance and patience, you have to develop your character very nice manner. At the same time, fighting for good things, you have to develop a character with the development for the development of the country. That should be there for our life. So here he said, in India, we have various castes, religions, and everything. The low and high, the poor and rich, the inferior and superior. We should avoid this type of categories in our society. We should live with the harmony, with the love, with the united sense. Unity is our philosophy. We have to unite. So he has a great relation with the Mahatma Gandhi. He is a meditator, he is a yogi, he is a spiritual person, a person of love and compassion. At the same time, he is an Iron Man of India. He has a great willpower. So while dealing with the war with the Pakistan in 1948, and he has taken very strong steps relating with Pakistan. So he got a win in Jammu Kashmir. So he has given beginning stage love and affection, good words, compassion, and everything. After some time relating with the affairs of princely states, the Junagadh, the Kerala, one princess state, and the Jammu Kashmir and the Nizam state, in the relating with all affairs and negotiations, we find the beginning stage with the full manner. He has he allowed he invited all people to Delhi. He has treated very nicely. He has talked with the princely state people, the princesses, the rajas, the officials, with a gentle manner, without hurting their ego. He has given great respect for their existence, and he has approved their grievances and their expectations. Through nice manner, 99% of the princely state united with the nice and diplomatic conversation of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel with the princely state. So remaining the Junagadh and the Nizam and Jammu Kashmir and some state, he has taken iron rod with extraordinary said, be ready, we are ready to war. You have to think about your family. You have to think about your future. If you want to live happily, consider this. Or if you want to face all evil consequences, or you have to face the consequences of death, be ready. We are ready for that. But we are giving a chance to you. We will provide all your financial resource expectations. We will treat very nicely, but unite with India. But you are not doing this. Be ready for. Because of his great expressions, many people approved. Finally, war happened only with one Nizam state. There also he won the success. He united. He's the Iron Man of India. He's a ever memorable person, a great person. Because of his contribution in India, we are living together. We have various states and everything. Because of his wisdom, so Britishers tried to divide India with many countries. but Sardar Patel rejected Britishers' offers and the princely states' offers. He has a great vision. He's a person of intuition, a person of great integrity. He has experienced what are the consequences of disunity, what are the consequences of lack of freedom. So he, through his great understanding, he united all princely states, created undivided India. We are receiving his great contributions, and we are receiving the great blessings of Sardar Patel on Indian Union. So he's a ever memorable person. He's a person of great integrity. So here he said about life. So here he said our country should be union. We should be work with love and affection. Avoid all evils and everything. Avoid caste distinctions and religions. Respect all people. Love is our media. Give compassion and cooperation for all people. Those who are hungry, give work. Those who are in a poor condition, help with your assistance. So here mutual loving, mutual cooperation, mutual understanding are essential for our survival, for our unity of the country. So he has contributed a lot for the unity of the country. I concluded this speech, Amreswar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your wonderful, excellent keynote address and the historical evidence. Now, I'm requesting the participants, Dr. Susila Madam and Srinivas Reddy and others to interact with Professor Chennai, sir. Professor Niruben Madam also from Gujarat. Anyone?
So Sardar Patel is a visionary. So through self-experience, he understood the value of the freedom, the value of the unity. So here in the before independence, before entering Britishers in India, we have small countries. They have created very quarrels. They occupied. So here Sardar Patel experienced the consequences of disunity in the people. That's why in the Indian Constitution, to avoid separations relating with the states, they have formulated the civil services with just like strong threats for the unity of the people. Amrit sir, ask something.
Sir, thank you, sir. Sir, actually, whenever newspaper articles on Patel we are reading, so once I read if Patel maybe because he was the first Deputy Prime Minister of India, Home Minister of India, so he was not given freedom, full freedom to unite a whole nation, including Jammu and Kashmir. So how much it is true, sir? Because of that lack of freedom for him.
But at the beginning stage, there was a attempt because Sardar Patel has an idea to unite all states with military force, with a threat and everything. If you give full freedom to the princely states, we won't get the freedom for the people, we won't get growth and everything. But he has given very strong steps to appreciate. But through as a home minister and deputy prime minister, he has got some great freedom because Jawaharlal Nehru also has given great freedom relating with some ASSAM. But relating with the Nizam rule, so there was a clash. There was a difference of idea between Jawaharlal Nehru and Sardar Patel in some occasions. But he has given full freedom to do his works when he was in the outside of India. at the time, as a in charge prime minister, deputy prime minister, and everything, he has taken all the steps, things. But actually, one way, Jawaharlal Nehru also very great person, but sometime Jawaharlal Nehru suggested we have to approach with a peaceful manner, we have to deal with a peaceful manner. But Sardar Patel convinced if you go with a peaceful manner, they may create some problem. That's why finally, one way, with a convincing manner, everything, Sardar Patel has got great freedom, encouragement and everything, because though Jawaharlal Nehru is believed in a soft sense, but he is also very great penetrating socialist. So he has decided the 5 years plans. He developed a lot. He is also a wonderful person. Though he has a feeling on love, compassion, everything, indirectly, one way or other, with the maximum sense, Jawaharlal Nehru has given freedom to Sardar Patel, but he used with extraordinary sense and united. In Jammu Kashmir also, one way, not more problem, but most of the things Sardar Patel got more encouragement, everything. Because of that only, we have seen the unity. Some discussions happened, the consequences of violence, consequences of peace, but finally they have a unity. Finally, they got cooperation. They have done very nicely, Amrit sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Any other participant? Okay, I think it is well understood, sir. That's why no one have any. Thank you very
Small
much, sir.
question. You ask one small question, then we will start your program.
Okay, sir. Sir, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, I read on friend of friendless. Is what is the
yes. The
actual
one
concept of this friend of friendless, sir?
Yes, one quotation is there, that is, it is in my nature to be a friend of the friendliness. It is a quotation. So, friend of the friendliness. So, here he has said to local people or the neighbors and the all people that if you are a friend, I am a friend to you. You are an enemy, I am an enemy for you. You are a tough person, I am a tough person for you. If you are coming for war, I am ready for you. But if you are a friend, I am a friend. If you are not a friend, I am not your friend. I am all in all. I am ready for war. I am ready for fighting. I am ready for taking police action. I am ready for taking military action. I am ready for taking wars. I am ready for anything. I am for unity. But I have inner feeling, that is a love, compassion, friendliness. What do you mean by friendliness? Friendliness is a equality in the hearts of people. If you treat me as an equal, if you treat me as a good person, if you treat me as a lovable person, I will treat you. Otherwise, if you underestimate, if you treat differently. So he said one time, relating with Indian freedom, at the time before independence, before Atlas resolution or enactment for Indian freedom, Britain have a one prime minister, is as a Winston Churchill. So he has given negative comments on the Indian people performance and the Indians way of life. But at the time, Sardar Patel said, okay, you great Winston Churchill, you have to protect about the interests of the England. We know how to protect our Indian culture and people. We are not inferior to you. Don't underestimate me. Don't criticize me. We are ready to receive your criticism. We are a great people. So here he has given shocks to Winston Churchill. He has given shocks to Pakistan. In 1948, there was a war. At that time, Sardar Patel was the key person in the, because they entered most of the parts of the Pakistan. So at that time, Jawaharlal Nehru and Mahatma Gandhi said, so you have occupied many people, you destroyed, so you have to pay 100 crores of money to Pakistan. Mahatma Gandhi has given this statement. So he say, is a exemplary person. He's ready for war. He's ready for peace. He's ready for friendliness. He's ready for love. He's ready for anything. He has all on all aspects. Because of that type of personality, we got this unity country. So he does not accept the inferiority, anything. So one way is a person of great human dignity. So the sentence is, friend of the friendliness. You are a wrong, if you are a bad person, I am not your friend. You are a worst fellow, I am not your friend. You are a warmonger, I am not your friend. You are a exploiter, I am not your friend. You are a corrupted fellow, I am not your friend. You are a friend of friendliness, means you are a good person, you have a good heart, good thing, then I will be a friend to you. Because this is a wonderful philosophical statement for the purity of the heart and the mind. So he said, I am a friend for goodness. I am not a friend for badness. I am not friend for corruption. I am not friend for disunity the country. I am not friend for violations in the country. I am not friend for disturbances in the country. If you are a friendly person, a balanced person, a good person, I am a friend to you. If you are in the wrong direction, I may not be a friend to you. This is the approach, Amrit sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Any other? Madam Sushila, madam?
Amrit sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sushila, madam joined. Sushila, madam, do you have any clarification? Sir, Sushila.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much,
So
sir.
here, Akhanda Bharat activist has to ask one question. Dr. Susila has to ask one question because she is an activist of Akhanda Bharat. Huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Oh, okay, Amrit sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. With your permission, may I go for presentation, sir?
Okay, please move, Amrit sir.
Thank you, sir. Right. Good evening to keynote speaker, Professor Chennai, sir, my guru, and the noble participants. Greatest lessons from Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, the Iron Man of India. The only learning outcome of the present session is learning the greatest lessons from Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, the Iron Man of India. Already Professor Chennai sir mentioned so many good things, and I don't want to repeat whatever sir. So he was born on 31st October 1875 in Nadiad, a small village in Gujarat. We have some participants also from here, Gujarat. His father, Javed Boy, was a farmer, and mother, Ladba, was an ordinary housewife. So here you can see for this Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, biggest contribution was organizing the princely states, 562 already Professor Chennai sir mentioned, for the unification of India. That's why National Unity Day, on his birthday, we are celebrating National Unity Day. And Run for Unity, Honorable Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi ji motivated youth and whole nation to participate on the Run for Unity. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel here posthumously awarded the Bharat Ratna. Actually, it taken almost 41 years. So he died on 15th December 1950, but up to 1991, he was the great services not recognized by the Congress and other governments, maybe Janata Dal government during the time. So there are so many that is political, we don't want, but really sometimes the great works of great sons and daughters of India was recognized too lately, but anyhow, was awarded the highest civilian award, the Bharat Ratna, in the year 1991. So here the Statue of Unity Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel has been started from 31st October in 2014 and was a dream project already inaugurated by Honorable Prime Minister of India. The total cost 3,000 crores. I'm going to show you one nice video at the second last of this presentation slide. Here, organized Kedah Satyagraha and a Badoli revolt, both which times the British bowed down. Actor is Ahmedabad's municipal president in 1922, 1924, and 1927. Independent India's first deputy prime minister and home minister, and here architect of a unite India post-independence. So the Britishers, so there are so many things, new things I'm going to show you. Maybe you watched it in the YouTube here and there. So this is the original video. Just for 2 minutes, you can watch. I can remove. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel.
The India that we see today is mainly due to the selfless, courageous and determined efforts of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. He was India's first Deputy Prime Minister and Home Minister. He had to face a tremendous law and order problem with millions of refugees pouring in from Pakistan. Another challenge was the integration of the 565 princely states into the Indian Union. To Sardar Patel, the sovereignty of the nation was of utmost importance to justify the struggles and sacrifices of millions of Indians and realize the dream of India as one nation.
जिस चीज से मुल्क को फायदा नहीं होता है, उस चीज से आकर हमको खुद को भी नुकसान होता है। वो चीज हमें समझ के हमें जो हिंदुस्तान आज सदियों के बाद एक हुआ है और एक मौका मिला है, वो घुमाना नहीं चाहिए।
Sardar Patel convinced all the states to join in, even as Junagadh and Hyderabad played truant. In the end, Junagadh caved in, but there had to be police action before the Nizam of Hyderabad surrendered. And thus, he came to be known as the Iron Man of India. A grateful nation salutes Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, the pioneer of national unity.
Right. Work is undoubtedly worship, but love is life. Anyone who takes life too seriously must prepare himself for a miserable existence. Anyone who greets joys and sorrows with equal facility can really get the best of life. Professor Chennai sir already mentioned love is very important. So care, concern, love, peace, non-violence. 8 management lessons from the Iron Man of India. Take initiative. Here, Patel took on himself the task of unifying the states that were turned in a different directions under the rule of kings. So he a true leader crossroads, exact leaders, goal setting, stand with people, sagacity, and looking through intricate details. These are the 8 management skills or lessons from Iron Man of India, the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patelji, Bharat Ratna. What inspiration do we get from Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Amit Shahji, the present Home Minister? Patel's dedication, loyalty, struggle, and sacrifice serves as an inspiration to citizens for unity and integrity of the country, Amit Shah said. Sardar Sahib's dedication, loyalty, and struggle and sacrifice for the motherland inspires every Indian to dedicate himself for the unity and integrity of the country. But within India itself, some people are trying to create violence and divides. So it is not good because where we are standing, we are living, no country can accept any, suppose without maybe those who are rich people, they will get easily the maybe citizenship other countries, European countries, Dubai and United Arab Emirates, but for common people, nobody is ready to take. So it is our own country, it is our duty to protect. We have to share here mutual bickering, shed the differences of being high or low, and develop the sense of equality and banish untouchability. That's why Mahatma Gandhi called the SC scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. So they are given a Harijan, very nice. But right now, according to the Constitution of India, the maximum they're not in a position to use these type of words, only scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. We have to restore the conditions of Swaraj here prevalent prior to British rule. We have to live like the children of the same father. So this is very, very important. The negligence of a few could easily send a ship to the bottom, but it required the wholehearted cooperation of all on board. She could be safely brought to port. So unity is very, very important. No distinctions of caste and creed should hamper us. All are the sons and daughters of India. We should all love our country and build our destiny on mutual love and help. So these two words are very, very important. It shows the personality of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patelji. Happiness and misery are paper balls. Don't be afraid of death. Join the nationalist forces. Be united. Give work to those who are hungry. Give food to invalids and forget your quarrels. So how very nicely he mentioned, as satyagrahis, we should always claim, and we did, that we are always ready to make peace with our adversity. Here, peace, peace, peace. You can see not only our Mahatma Gandhi, even Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel also given more importance to peace and non-violence. Maybe his ideology and Mahatma Gandhi ideology is slightly different with Subhash Chandra Bose and maybe Bhagat Singh and other freedom fighters. Adversaries here, as a matter of fact, we are always eager for peace, and when we found that the door to peace was open, we decided to enter it. So here, how nicely mentioning the door of peace. A war based on satyagraha is always of two kinds. Professor Chennai sir already mentioned. One is the war we wage against injustice, and the other we fight against our own weaknesses. So during that time, illiteracy, poverty, so this and lack of physical infrastructure, education institutions, so many problems are there. Yeah, one can take the path of revolution, but the revolution should not give a shock to the society. There is no place for violence in revolution. This is the mode. But Che Guevara and some other Westerners, maybe North America, South America, even African. So all the continents of freedom fighters, they have revolution in a violent way, but only person and people in India, especially the Mahatma Gandhi, Rabindranath Tagore, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, and maximum freedom fighters, they are supporters of peace and non-violence. But one way or another way, that is already we discussed, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose was a very prominent. The war started by Mahatma Ji is against two things, the government and secondly against oneself. The former kind of war is closed, but the latter shall never cease. It is meant for self-purification. So how we can get self-purification? It is our duty to think more about self. So long as you do not know how to die, it is useless for you to learn how to kill. India will not be benefited by brutal force. If India is to be benefited, it will be through non-violence. That is why they never supported Subhash Chandra Bose, because they don't want non-violence. Their way of life is a peace and non-violence. Two ways of building character. Already Mahatma Gandhi also said the same thing. If wealth is lost, nothing is lost. If health is lost, something is lost. If character is lost, everything is lost. Cultivating strength to challenge oppression and tolerate the resultant hardship that give rise to courage and awareness. Young men and women ought to build up a strong character. A nation's greatness was reflected in the character of her people. If it was sullied by selfishness, such a people could not prosper or achieve great things. Here, selfishness had its place in life, as everyone had to look to his own needs and that of his family, but it could not be made be all the end all of life. Even Gollapudi Maruti Rao, a great writer, actor in the Telugu film industry, language, literature, he mentioned about the family system in India and family system in USA and Western countries. The greatest strength of India or Indian culture is the family. We have that bondage, kinship, and respect. Now only the diverse and living together, this type of cultures, but earlier the different, but based on time, we were supposed to change. But family is a first social institution to get education or value. So give more value to the family and spend time for the family. My only desire is that India should be a God producer and no one should be hungry here shedding tears for food in the country. But still, UPA government already passed the bill, some food security bill, but still many people, now just today I read an article regarding Sri Lanka, 9 among 10 in Sri Lanka are not in a position to take at least once or twice in a day food. This is situation because of their government. A war based on satyagraha is always of two kinds. One is the war, here already we mentioned. Faith is of no avail in absence of strength. Faith and strength both are essential to accomplish any great work. So please, faith on yourself, faith on God. Those who are spiritual, you can faith. Christians, they have faith on Jesus. Hindus, faith on the God and goddesses, and Buddha, Jain, so many religions. So India is the only country giving importance for all types of religions and culture. So minorities, now we can see the women, ST women going to become a first citizen of India, President of India, the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi ji. So yesterday, today already the process is taking place, the 18th July, the election. So see, it is possible only in India. Last, the existing present President of India belongs to SC community, even minority, APJ Abdul Kalam. So many, everything is possible. We never faced any type of army rule here, but in Pakistan, the situation is different. So now, instead of talking, if you watch the original videos and original voice of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, it's a nice documentary. You can watch this one because we have sufficient time. Professor Vijay Kumar sir, because of network issue, not able to join the program. Please utilize that time.
The 15th of December 1950, Bombay. The death of Sardar Patel. For over 30 years, he fought and worked for freedom, for the unity and well-being of his people.
There have been born leaders, and there have been leaders by chance, by wealth, and by luck. This peasant patriot was a leader by merit. His life was a gospel of devotion, determination, defiance, and dauntlessness. Diligence was his choice, discipline his creed.
On one of his birthdays, Vallabhbhai Patel said,
I am extremely touched by the affection that you have shown. I have said things, some of which may be harsh, but however bitter they may be, they are a perfect dose of medicine that I give you.
Vallabhbhai was born in 1875. He went to the primary school at Karamsad and learnt the 3 R's. After finishing school at Nadiad, he burnt the midnight oil to make something of himself. He eventually became a lawyer after studying with borrowed books.
पिताजी ने गोधरा में वकीलात शुरू की 2 साल में वहां से
His daughter Maniben recalls that although he wanted to go to England himself, he stood down in favor of his elder brother Vittalbhai. Indeed, he paid his brother's expenses with the money he had saved for his own trip.
पिताजी मान गए और उनका वहां का सारा खर्चा का बोझ आपने उठा लिया। कोर्ट में एक केस चला रहे थे जिसमें फांसी की सजा होने का संभव था। तब माता के देहांत का
While he was pleading for a man accused of murder, Vallabhbhai received a telegram informing him of his wife's death. He put the telegram in his pocket and continued with the case. In his own words, "One life has gone, let me save another." The man was acquitted. When his brother returned from England, it was time for Vallabhbhai to go. While he was in London, another lawyer, M.K. Gandhi, in South Africa, was questioning the moral basis of the existence of man in the 20th century. Vallabhbhai returned to India in 1913 and set up practice in Ahmedabad. He was utterly unconcerned with the political activities of the Indian leaders. Then came Gandhi. In 1915, Gandhi addressed members of the Gujarat Club. Vallabhbhai Patel, barrister at law, was playing bridge at the club. He refused to listen to what to him was a lot of idealistic hot air and continued with his game. But then an odd thing happened. In 1918, a devastating flood had destroyed 75% of the total crop of Khera district in Gujarat, but the government was adamant in collection of taxes. Then Gandhi decided to launch a satyagraha. In that situation, Vallabhbhai realized that Gandhi was a man of action. He gave up his practice and volunteered to work for the cause. In the words of Gandhi, "If Vallabhbhai had not been with me, the satyagraha would not have succeeded." In 1919, Britain enacted the infamous Rowlatt Act, which provided for arrest and trial without due process of law. Gandhi appealed to the entire nation to demonstrate peacefully against this violation of fundamental rights. At Jallianwala Bagh in Amritsar, without any provocation, troops opened fire on a peaceful crowd, killing and wounding hundreds of men, women, and children. The freedom movement was now intensified. In 1920, Gandhi gave a call for a countrywide non-cooperation movement and boycott of all foreign goods. The spinning wheel became the symbol of the struggle for freedom. Like many other congressmen, Vallabhbhai now began to wear homespun khadi. Carrying of the Congress flag was banned by the British in Nagpur. Vittalbhai and Vallabhbhai went to Nagpur and led the flag satyagraha, which was a roaring success. It was a bad decade for the farmer. The 20s saw falling prices and diminishing returns. The Raj, however, was implacable in its demand for increased revenue. The poor peasants of Bardoli petitioned government for relief. Their imploration met the proverbial deaf ear. But there was one person willing to listen, Vallabhbhai Patel. He organized the Bardoli Satyagraha after having warned the people that they must be prepared to make sacrifices. Thousands of villagers volunteered to follow him. Many of them went to jail. In spite of intimidation, in spite of confiscation of land, of cattle, and even pots and pans, the peasants stood by Vallabhbhai's leadership in this satyagraha. Drums would warn the people, and officials would arrive to find deserted streets and closed doors. For 9 months, a tense nation watched this dramatic war of attrition. In the words of K.M. Munshi,
it was a great experience for me, and I saw Sardar leading the 80,000 Bardoli peasants into a grim struggle of limitless courage.
The movement was successful. The government reverted to the old revenue rates and ordered an inquiry. It was from the time of the Bardoli Satyagraha that Vallabhbhai Patel came to be known as the Sardar, the leader. He traveled to various parts of the country and took up the cause of the farmer. Mahatma Gandhi now had a brilliant array of lieutenants. In 1928, the all-British Simon Commission came to India to recommend constitutional changes. The exclusion of Indians in a matter so important infuriated the nation. The Congress decided to boycott the commission. In a peaceful demonstration, Lala Lajpat Rai, the Lion of Punjab, was brutally beaten and he died of his injuries. All of India was grieved and indignant. The will to freedom was strengthened. As the midnight hour of 1929 passed into history and 1930 was being born, the Lahore Congress resolved to fight for complete independence. When the demand for complete independence fell on deaf ears, Gandhi decided to break the salt law as a symbolic act of defiance. Sardar Patel was given the task of going over the route of the march from Ahmedabad to Dandi to enlighten the people. He was arrested at Ras and thrown into Sabarmati prison. He missed Gandhi's epic march to Dandi. In 1931, Sardar Patel was elected president of the Karachi Congress. In that year, Gandhi went to London to attend the Round Table Conference. It was a failure. At home, repression against the peasants was intensified. On his return, both Guru and Chela were sent to Yaravda jail. When he heard the government was selling off the Bardoli ashram, Vallabhbhai humorously said, "I suppose it's a fair exchange. After all, we've taken possession of their jail." Although he retained his sense of humor, Sardar Patel was now a sick man. During his detention, he had lost his beloved mother and elder brother Vithalbhai. In 1936, the Congress decided to contest the elections to the provincial legislatures. Sardar Patel was chairman of the subcommittee to select candidates. The Congress came to power in 10 provinces, thus showing that it had an abiding place in the hearts of the people. When Britain declared war on Germany, the Viceroy dragged India into the war by issuing an ordinance without consulting any Indian leader. The Congress wanted to support Britain on one condition, that if the war was being fought for democracy and freedom, that freedom should extend to India at the end of the war. The Secretary of State loftily said that India must first show her fitness for dominion status. All the Congress ministries resigned, and leaders called upon the people not to support Britain's war effort. As the Japanese approached the Indian border in 1942, Roosevelt prevailed upon Churchill to seek a solution to the Indian problem. Sir Stafford Cripps brought to India proposals for an interim government, vaguely promising independence at an unspecified time in the future. The Congress flatly rejected these proposals, designed to continue Britain's imperial stranglehold on India. On the 8th of August 1942, the now famous Quit India resolution was passed by the Congress in Bombay. Speaking on the resolution, Sardar Patel said that India could not tolerate slavery anymore. Mahatma Gandhi clarified the Indian stand. Our quarrel is not with the British people. We fight their policy. The very same night, all national leaders were arrested. Sardar Patel was among those taken to the Ahmednagar fort. The British could and did physically lock up Mahatma Gandhi and his colleagues, but not their ideas. An apparently leaderless nation continued Gandhi's non-violent war. Reprisals followed. More than 1,000 people were shot dead and more than 3,000 grievously injured. Over 100,000 people went to jail. Never in history had there been mass civil disobedience on such a scale. When the war in Europe ended, all national leaders were released. they were invited to Simla by the Viceroy, Lord Wavell, to discuss constitutional changes. Unfortunately, the parleys broke down because of differences between the Congress and the Muslim League. But events were moving fast. When Japan surrendered, the Labour government announced that elections to central and provincial legislatures would be held. The Congress won an overwhelming majority in the Central Assembly and in 8 provinces. A cabinet mission composed of Lord Pethick Lawrence, Sir Stafford Cripps and Mr. A.V. Alexander came to negotiate an agreement for the transfer of power. The agreement had to be acceptable to all political parties. The bitter rift between the Muslim League and the Congress could not be bridged. The cabinet mission proposed its own solution. A constituent assembly came into being and an interim government was formed headed by Jawaharlal Nehru. Sardar Patel was in charge of Home Affairs and Information and Broadcasting. Eventually, the Muslim League joined the interim government with Liaquat Ali Khan in charge of finance. But the Muslim League continued to agitate for the creation of Pakistan. There were communal riots all over the country. Partition became inevitable. Lord Mountbatten was the new viceroy. It was decided by all the parties concerned that transfer of power would take place on August the 15th, 1947, to 2 independent dominions. In independent India's first government, Sardar Patel became the Home Minister. He was faced with a tremendous law and order problem and the problem of millions of refugees escaping from Pakistan. In his own words,
let us get on with the job in the hope that we will do it well, and the faith that despite the shock which the whole organization has received from the recent disturbances, we shall acquit ourselves creditably in one of the great rescue projects of history.
Sardar Patel now set out to integrate over 500 princely states into the Indian Union.
लेकिन ये छोटे छोटे जो वाड़े हैं उससे बहुत नुकसान होता है और जिस चीज से मुल्क को फायदा नहीं होता है इस चीज से आकर
all our hearts should be filled with the thought of a united India. After centuries, we have the freedom to forge a unified nation.
और एक अवसर हमारे पास आया है वो घुमाना नहीं चाहिए.
The integration of princely states was perhaps the greatest achievement in the life of Sardar Patel. The assassination of the Mahatma was a blow to every Indian, but especially to those who were close to him. Grieved as he was, Sardar urged the people of India not to shed tears.
Right. Very nice video. The negligence of a few already is one we mentioned. By common endeavor, we can rise the country to a new greatness, while a lack of unity will expose us to fresh here calamities. So that is why unification of India. Little pools of water here tend to become stagnant and useless. But if they are joined together to form a big lake, the atmosphere is cooled and there is a universal benefit. That is why unity. So this one Professor Chennai sir already mentioned. It is in my nature to be a friend of friendless. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Religion is a matter between the man and his maker. Actually, according to philosophy, religion is a way of life. Unfortunately, and according to the same religion spirit, it is your duty to love each and every living being, not only human being, all birds, animals, even the plants. But people are not taking the true meaning of the religion. Every citizen of India must remember that he is an Indian and he has every right in this country, but with a certain duties. So we have that along with the rights, duties are also there. Ours is a non-violent war. It is Dharma Yuddha. Today, we must remove distinction of high and low, rich and poor, here, caste or creed, but still it is existing. There is something unique in this soil, which despite many obstacles, has always remained the abode of great souls. Caste community will rapidly disappear. We have to speedily forget all these things. Such boundaries hamper our growth. So actually the development and education are two sides of the same coin. It is through only true education, quality education, it is possible. Even if we lost the wealth of 1,000 and our life is sacrificed, we should keep smiling and be cheerful, keeping our faith in God and truth. So faith is very, very important. This one Professor Chennai sir already mentioned. Tell Churchill to save England first before saving India. So it means you concentrate on your own work. In a domestic government, unity and cooperation are essential requisites. It is only so long as a man can retain the child in him that life can be free from those dark shadows which live inevitable here for us. A man 90s twos or a head. Satyagraha is not a creed for the weak or the cowardly. When we organized the international workshop on Osho, he rightly mentioned that the six are very brave and courageous people. Without Sikh India, maybe Indians, they can make cowards. So here, the very rightly they mentioned Satyagraha is not a creed and is a weak or the cowardly. Your goodness is impediment in your way. So let your eyes be red with anger and try to fight the injustice with a firm hand. So we need that type of strong dedication. Non-violence has to be observed in thought, word, and deed. Trikarana Shuddhi we are calling. The measures of our non-violence will be measure of our success, that is independence. The main task before India today is to consolidate herself into a well-knit and united power. He succeeded. Homeopathy is supposed to work miracles, though health is also very important. Independent India's here leaders will neither use a foreign language nor rule from a remote place. But unfortunately, the English, even though, but now we create an Indian English like that. But his duty and means a leader duty to motivate to use Indian language. Hindi is a Raja Bhasha, but right now so many we have national languages for the understanding purpose. This one is a unity statue of unity. So very nice 3 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes video. Hamara Sardar.
सबसे ऊंचा था वो है और रहेगा भारत की शान था वो सदा अमर रहेगा सबसे सबसे शानदार लोह पुरुष है हमारा सरदार देश को जोड़ा शिल्पकार था वो, सोमनाथ का जीर्णोद्वार था वो। ऋण आज उसका चुका रहे हैं हम, उसे अंबर से ऊंचा, अंबर से ऊंचा, अंबर से ऊंचा, अंबर से ऊंचा उठा रहे हैं। सबसे ऊंचा है सबसे शानदार, लोह पुरुष है हमारा सरदार। हो सबसे ऊंचा है सबसे शानदार, लोह पुरुष है हमारा सरदार। सबसे ऊंचा है सबसे शानदार, लोह पुरुष है हमारा सरदार। तुम तुम ना 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 तुम ना 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 नागिर दिख दिन नागिर दिख दिन ना 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 ना। भव्य सरदार का ये दर्शन हर सदी में हमें पाना है। देशभक्ति और साहस का बल हर पीढ़ी को समझाना है। मां नर्मदा के तट से, हाँ अभी और इसी पल से, एकता का संदेशा हम सबको हाँ हर दिल तक पहुंचाना है। टुकड़ों में अपना बटेंगे, एक साथ हम सब रहेंगे। एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत बना के एक सुर में कहेंगे। भारत माता की जय। सबसे ऊंचा सबसे शानदार लोह पुरुष है हमारा
Right. Such a great son of India passed away on 15th December 1950 at Mumbai. Right now we are calling Mumbai, that time Bombay. So this is the Antima Yatra of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel.
सपूत भारत मात नो सरदार वल्लभ आपनो। साबरमती ना संत नो साचो हतो ए।
Voice is not audible. No, it is. I think some of participants you have a network issue. Sir, Chennai sir, voice is audible, sir.
Very clear, Amrit sir. Very clear.
Okay, sir. Maybe that participant. Okay, sir. Okay.
Very
sir.
clear. Very clear.
लोह पुरुष सरदार वल्लभ आपनो। शिल्पी नौ भारत तनो सरदार वल्लभ आपनो। ब्रिटिश हुकूमत हाकनारन हजारों वंदन हजो। भारत नो बड़वीर सरदार वल्लभ आपनो। कर्म सजनो कर्म। कर्म सजनो कर्म योगी लाडबानो लाडलो। सपूत भारत मात नो सरदार वल्लभ आपणो साबरमती ना संत नो साचो हतो ए सारथी हिंद नो ए लोह पुरुष सरदार वल्लभ आपणो बोर सदनो बैरिस्टर ने सेनानी संग्राम नो शिल्पी नो भारत तनो सरदार वल्लभ आपणो ब्रिटिश हुकूमत हाकनार ने हजारों वंदन हजो भारत नो बड़वीरे सरदार वल्लभ आपणो करम सदनो कर्म.
So they are actually role model for all Indians, whole India. So these are all, no need to share, myself and Dr. Swatasri madams. For those who are newly joined for us, I'm always keeping. Thank you very much for your wonderful cooperation. It is a time to recall the great services of the great nation. So now over to the participants. Maybe I'm requesting a participant from Gujarat. Madam Professor Niruben Barashiana Barasania. Okay. Maybe a very difficult to, I don't know exactly how to pronounce, but Niruben madam, are you there? She's from Gujarat, sir. Anyone from here, Gujarat, along with madam? Okay. I think she is not audible, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir. Sir, you are audible, sir. Please continue, sir.
Amrit, sir, are you listening?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Very good. You have presented. What are the important sayings or quotations like relating with the Sardar Patel? Which aspect do you like? Which quotation or something? What are the aspect do you like?
Sir, actually, I like that nature of friend of friendless. That is very good, sir. Because based on situation, it is our duty to act. And democratic government is a unity and cooperation are essential. That is really very useful. But unfortunately, again, some political leaders are dividing the states. Yesterday, one Karnataka minister informed 2024 after election, the Prime Minister of India may divide Indian states into 50 states. So this type of things are happening. Karnataka. Sir, Karnataka minister told 2024 Lok Sabha, after Lok Sabha election, if won by the BJP, the present Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi ji, will divide Indian states into 50 states. It is a statement done by a minister of Karnataka state. Even Karnataka also going to divide Uttar Karnataka and Karnataka. But these type of divides may be not good.
Oh.
So the unity and cooperation and unity are very, very important, sir.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
just to see this, observe sir, Sri Lanka, I think only 2 crores population. They are not able to, but now we have 130 crores of people. But how nicely we are managing. Now we have maximum wealth of foreign exchange, foreign currency we have. So these are all living together only, sir, possible. Now the Pakistan situation is also not good, sir. Yesterday, Pakistan Prime Minister imposed a 10% super tax on industries, banking, and other service sectors. 10% of tax, super tax.
Yes.
Suppose in a big country, suppose in South India there is no rain, maybe we can take food grains from North India or Northeast, so we can adjust. Because of this, we are able to sustain.
Actually, in India, we have economically, progressively, according to statistics and data, this Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, and Karnataka, Maharashtra, and Gujarat. These are the major sources are contributing more income and wealth for the economy of the India.
Yes, sir. True, sir.
It is true, but we have other sources also, some income sources, but here we are in a country, we are sharing our resources with all states with a unity purpose. So unity in diversity and diversity in unity. So here Sardar Patel believed this statement, unity in diversity, diversity in unity. So he has mentioned about we have different religions and castes, we have to respect all the things.
True, sir. True, sir.
So very good presentation, Amrit sir.
Thank you,
Very
sir.
nice.
Thank you very much, sir. I think with this, may I go for a vote of thanks, sir? Thank you. Thank you very much for Professor Chinnaya, sir, for clarification and providing extraordinary,
Yes, Amrit sir. Yes, Amrit sir.
Extraordinary information and truthful. All info, whatever Professor Chinnaya, sir, provided, everything is truth. Sir, never without taking the original data or source, sir, never speak. So it is our duty to believe whatever Professor Chinnaya sir told are historically valid. So we are grateful to Professor Chinnaya sir for wonderful keynote address. Sir, you are continuously supporting us with your wonderful keynote address.
Amrit sir.
Sir, most welcome, sir. Actually, nowadays,
Amrit,
why I'm yes, sir. Why I'm always expressing my gratefulness. Maximum times, I'm also acting as a resource person for 10 universities and more than 50 colleges. But many resource person, they said it is not my area. One of language teachers, he said, I am a literature teacher, English literature. I never teach language, so I am not able to teach language skills. So they are confined to that they only certain area or certain topic. But according to NEP 20, we need diversified knowledge, interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary knowledge. Sir is the right example and walking encyclopedia, best example to understand whatever topics. Sir, today actually Bitendra some Misra from Odisha, I think he texted in that yesterday program, whatever Professor Chinnaya sir given, they are all very worthful information for publication. So just a few minutes back, he texted. So it shows you are teaching technological, artificial intelligence, positive psychology, historical, A to Z. It is very rare capabilities, sir. We are grateful to you. So, our
Thank you, Amrit.
most welcome,
Who
sir.
stated
Sir,
who has given that texted information from
Sir.
Orissa?
Yes, sir. I'm just telling, sir, exact name also. Birendra Mishra. His name is Birendra Mishra.
So, relating with yesterday's talk.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So
Okay,
we are grateful
okay,
to you,
okay.
and Professor Prabhasankar Shukla, sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Northeastern Hill University, is continuous support, encouragement. Without Professor Shukla sir support, it is not possible for us to organize this program. And Professor Dikshit sir, Professor Mipun sir, Dr. Nagarajasri madam, Dr. Even Computer Center, the staff, so many, Ramana sir and Vijay Bhaskar sir, Dr. Srutasini Gogoi madam, Dr. Bartakur, Rajendra Prasad Bartakur sir, and Dr. Vijay Kumar sir. Because of technical issues, sir was not able to present, but sir is always helpful. And noble participants for your valuable presence, but only request for some of the participants you are joining after maybe 6. If possible, please, you can join, because you are always missing Professor Chennai talk. It's extraordinary. Those talks, those lessons are not available in the books. The philosophical, spiritual, so life-related issues. So if possible, you can join since beginning. It is only 2 hours. You can join and you can do whatever you want. Listening skill is the best skill. So thank you very much for your wonderful cooperation. Now we are going to share the screen for national anthem. Then immediately I can share the feedback form. You will get your certificate. Thank you very much. Sir, may I go for national anthem, sir?
Yes, Amrit sir.
Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
please move, Amrit sir.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Jai Hind. Thank you. Please submit your feedback form. Just shared. Please submit. Check your email. YouTube viewers also, please submit. Next week, we are going to do on Aurobindo Ghosh. On Friday, Springer Nature. Tips to publish your journal, books, articles. In